What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Bama Anglers video. It's a little different today because I'm trying to do daily uploads, and if you guys like this type of video, like story times, of my fishing experiences, leave a like and comment down below. So let's get into the story. Alright guys, this story is going to be my PB bass. It was 10.4, and if you convert that to pounds and ounces, it was 10 pounds 7 ounces. And I've actually caught two 10-pounders in my life. I caught one the year before that on April 2nd, and that was I think it was like 10.2. It's like 10 pounds 4 ounces. So I didn't beat it that bad, but it's still pretty stoked to catch a giant like that. And what's surprising is I caught this one on April 7th the next year. So they both were in April in the beginning. So this April, I'm going to have to go out and try to catch another 10-pounder. But anyways, let's get into the story. It was about 7 or 6:30 when I went out. It gets dark about 8 at this time in Alabama, and I was going out and had braid, and I was starting at buzzbait. I was out for about 15 minutes, I think. I was chunking that thing, and I got this horrible backlash on one cast. I had two blow-ups, and they were kind of small, but I had horrible backlash on it, and I was like, I couldn't get it out after like 10 minutes. And I was debating on whether I should come back out or not. And I was just like, why does this gotta happen, man? Because I felt really good about that day. I wanted to go fishing. I had been fishing in about a week at that time. I was just like, why does this gotta happen to me, man? So I came back and I just looked at another rod, and it had a head-in tiny torpedo on it. I'll show you the bait. It was this exact bait right here. Very loud. And I saw it. I was like, no, I might as well try. I might as well, because it was like probably 7 o'clock when I got back. And I was just sitting there. I was like, let's do it. I had about 12-pound mono on, like a crankbait rod. It was not like the ideal topwater rod, I guess, but I just went out and did it. So I was fishing for about 15 minutes. I caught one like 6-incher on this thing, and I was just chunking it. And I saw this. I looked over at the bank, and there was this huge swirl, and there's no carp or catfish in this pond either. So I was like, that's got to be a bass. And I thought it was about 4 pounds probably. So I cast it over there, and 2 pops. I got this big old explosion, whoom, and it like sucked it under. It was big, like this huge swirl. So I set the hook on it, and I was like, oh, this is like a 5-pounder probably. And I was reeling it in. And keep in mind, I'm on like this little sandy beach, no grass. It's like, in some parts, it's like quicksand if you get in it. So I was fighting this bass, and it jumped. I said, oh, that's a 6-pounder. I was like, because I fought this fish for about 15 seconds, and it jumped. And I was like, that's probably a 6-pounder. And I'm reeling this thing in, and I see this swirl, and he just keeps jumping. I'm like, that's probably a 7-pounder. I haven't caught one this big in about a year since that 10-pounder before. And I was reeling him in. And I was he was about 20 feet away from me. I started getting in this sand. I started sinking in it. One of my legs was like up to here in sand, and this one was around my ankle, and I could not move. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose this fish. Because it came up, and I saw it had one hook in it. So I was freaking out. I was stuck in sand, one hook in the fish. I had no idea what I needed to do. So I kept fighting. I kept my rod super low, because this rod's very light action. It was like maybe a medium action. It was a crankbait rod. And I was like, please don't come off, please. And I just kept pressure, kept it from jumping. I was sinking, and I fell over. I had one hand in the water like this, one hand on the rod. My hand went under the sand too, and I was in the water. I was like this, I was still fighting the fish. I couldn't reel, and I just yanked my arm out of the water, and I started reeling again. I had like sand in my reel. It sounded horrible. And it was like 35 seconds into the fight, and this fish just took drag out. I was like, oh my gosh, he's about to come off, because I thought it still had one hook in it. And it came back to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like an 8-pounder. And I reeled him in. I grabbed his thing. He had he still had one hook in him. I held him up, and I still thought it was an 8-pounder. I was like, oh my gosh, this fish is huge. And I was freaking out, man. There's a dude on the other side fishing for crappie or something. He's like, yeah, that's like a 6-pounder. Like, I didn't think it was a 10. But I was like freaking out. And there's like this little puddle of water like 2 feet deep. And I'm like, I don't have a scale on me. So I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to get a scale, and I'm going to come back. So I put him in there, and then I was like, wait, because I threw another cast because I didn't want to leave, because I thought there could be another giant. I was fishing for about 15 minutes, and the fish still in there. I'm watching him. I'm freaking out. I'm like shaking like this. And it was about 70 degrees. Like, it was good topwater weather. It was cloudy and stuff. And it about got dark, and I was like, all right, I got to go weigh this fish. So my house is right across the pond, so I figured I could run. But the problem is there's this pipe. There's always this little pipe I gotta go over. So I ran over it in our creek and I just revived him for about 30 seconds because it was like a 10-second run, but I still wanted to keep this fish alive. I did not want to kill it because this pond has big fish in it, but there's not a lot. So I just left it in there for like 30 seconds. I said, okay, I'm about to have to book it. So I was holding him like this. I left my rod at the pond. And I was just running with him. And a good thing, at my basketball goal, I had a tub of water. It was like pond water or something. I don't know. Me and my friends put it in there one day. But I put him in there. And I went up to tell my mom, I was like, Mom, I got a giant fish. It was insane. Like, the fish was huge to me. And I weighed him. And I looked at the scale. And my scale didn't do, like, pounds, ounces. It was, like, up to 10. And I looked at it. It said 10.4. I said, there is no way this fish is that big. And I weighed him again. I weighed him, like, 5 times. 10.4 every single time. I was like, that's my new PB. And I was freaking out. It was almost dark at that time. I said, I got to get this fish back in the water so it can live. So I got the fish, ran back to the water, and I put him in the water. Like, this was the craziest fight I've ever had with a fish. And this fish, I thought it died. I'm not going to lie. I ran. It was about a 15-second run, but I thought the fish had too much stress, and I thought it died because it started going belly up. So I had to get in the water with, like, I was ankle deep in it, and I was just reviving him. And about, like, a minute of reviving him, I was freaking. I was like, please don't die, fish. Don't do this. And he swam off, and it was, like, the most amazing feeling I've ever had in my life. I caught a 10-pound, about 7-ounce fish, and seeing that thing swim off, it was just amazing to me. This fish is probably still alive. It was about a year ago when I caught this fish, but I'm like freaking out. I was like freaking out. It was like I slept so good that night, but it was amazing to me. Just caught on this little bait. I've never thrown this bait since because I'm proud of it. I'm gonna retire it after a good fish. But yeah, that's the story of my biggest bass ever. It was a pretty crazy fight. And if I could do it again, I definitely would because that was amazing. But thank you guys for watching the video. If you like this style of video, comment down below, like, and yeah.